Oh hey, my name's TENDO. Started off today at the St. Vinny's thrift store. We do a lot of thrifting around here. If that sounds fun to you, stick around, because that is the name of the game. JJ, what are we gonna buy today? What do you want? You name it. $5. Not today. There are just so many sets of Megazords now. I don't know what's what. Seems kind of cheap though. Tuesday is usually the better day to go here, but we did not score. But man, there's a lot of people in there with carts full of stuff. One woman had just a giant cart full of decorative stuff. I don't know, but that's not what we're looking for. Just stopping at my antique mall real quick, just to make sure I didn't do anything crazy yesterday, because it's a mess. My antique mall is a mess, and it's gonna get way worse before it gets better. These need to go somewhere to make room, but they're not selling. Need to probably take a little less for them. It's at that point. Man, trains have been selling. I need some more. It's part of my daily routine to come here. You know, wish I'd bought some stuff to bring here at the St. Vinny's, but I did not. I am gonna go to Goodwill after this. It's just like a trajectory thing, you know, here and then there and then there. So if I do find a bunch of stuff at Goodwill, I'll bring it back here, but I probably won't, because if I do, I'll just bring it tomorrow. But we're doing good here this month. And I think it'll only improve, because some of the best sellers is this stuff, and it's now way more easily accessible. So that's good. I need a better sort of display type situation for DVD players and Blu-ray players and stuff like that. Once they're more obvious, they'll sell better too, but so far so good. We're getting there. We're getting there. If you've been watching a long time, you know I've had antique mall booths on the other side of the country, and they looked way better. They were very colorful. And we're getting a little color in there. We're making it pop a little bit, but it's just taking time. We're on month 3, I think. I think that's it. If that makes sense. Guitars. Goodwill time. Oh man, a proper treasure chest. I want it, but I'm gonna keep walking.
The happy baby today.
Say hello, buddy. He's always happy. The happiest boy I know. Battery tester. A bar bug. What? Gag gift? Not a gag gift, just a gag, I guess. Figuratively and literally. No remote. I kind of want to buy that because it is bigger than the tiny one I have, but I don't know. I don't know. Comment below if you know what that is. Something Disney. Which movie? Space Jam Crocs do exist. They're not name brand Crocs. Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. They just don't say it on the front. They say it right there. The strap. Interesting. Too small for me. Double strikeout. That's all right. The TV's a little tempting, but like I don't want to get it home and it have bad audio. The little TV I have at home right now will suffice until I can get a bigger one. What a giant dog sitting in there. Just looking at me, right in my eyeballs. Is that my car? That's not my car. This is hard to do with 2 hands, but pushing the baby, walking the doggy. And I walked the dog yesterday. And I walked the dog yesterday without Jasper. Excuse me, ma'am. Those are not yours. I walked the dog yesterday without Jasper. And we got real far away. She pooped in somebody's front yard. And look at all these nice lawns. And I looked down in the dispenser for the bags. Did not have any bags for the poop on the leash. And so I had my walk turned into double because I pretty much had to walk back, get the bags, go back, pick up the poop, and then go back again. So, you know, you gotta pick up after your dog. You got to. You got to. It's real silly though. Not gonna have today. I walked out the door without the bags. I was like, nope, not doing this. Not this old jewel again. But yeah. Follow us on the Strava app. Share your walks with us. Here's that QR code. We're at the old Walmart. Gonna buy some foods and such. I was here yesterday with very minimal things in my cart. A couple yogurts, that kind of thing. High protein yogurts. And I had to be somewhere in my brain at 4:30. And I'm standing there at 3:55 and the spidey sense tingles. And I go, I better check the time. And I look, and it's 4. So I had to rush across town. I had to throw my yogurts back and decide to come today. So that's why I'm here, you know. Old man moment, dad moment, you know how it is. Rain, fog. Okay, I think there's a reality here given today's video that I think is worth discussing, that is going to tie into the last few videos I've made, but more importantly, my entire video catalog of the past, I don't know how many years now. Somebody tell me, I've lost count. I didn't buy anything at the thrift today. I don't think, maybe I bought something yesterday, but like, I think 3 out of the last 5 days at the thrift, I bought nothing. And this is a really interesting thing because even now, doing what I'm now doing the exact level of reselling I'm at, which is considerably lower than sort of the levels I've been at in the past, I find myself just going, man, this sucks, man. These stores have made too many changes recently. They're not selling stuff for the same. When I showed up here in town, they were selling Squishmallows for $1. They were selling Blu-rays for $1. Now Blu-rays are $2 and Squishmallows are $10. And this is probably the 10th time in my, I don't know how many years of this thrifting reselling, 7 to 10 years, I guess, maybe closer to 5. I really don't know. Somebody needs to go back to my older videos and do the math. I've had this. Even when I lived in Arizona and there was 100 plus Goodwills in the town, I would go to 10 of them some days and be very disappointed, or I would have weeks where I did 100 Goodwill visits that week and be disappointed. And I find myself there now. I find myself passing up the stuff I want to buy because it's too expensive, and or particular to maybe the same minis from today's video, just find myself seeing absolutely nothing there that I want week on end. And here's what this comes down to. Over the years, when I do live shows or I do something where we do some manner of Q&A, something that comes up really regularly is hey man, thrifting in my area has gotten really bad. And I think I'm going to quit. And I think there's a want or a need or a rationale that makes it the thrift small. And I suppose to some degree, I mean, it is. These changes do happen. I am in no way denying that. But there has to be an adaptability to reselling. And honestly, I think this stuff goes for collectors as well. There's plenty of you guys watching that just go to the thrift store and collect. And perhaps you can comment below in today's video and tell me which of those two that is for you. But I tell you where I'm at now after however many years this has been on this YouTube thrifting reselling journey. I can tell you I've grown this like 6th sense level sort of patience. I'm just aware in a way I wasn't before that like things are going to come and go and things are going to change. And it may have to be me that changes. I think as often as not that I've had to find new ways to reconfigure my thrift habits. I think just as many times as I've done that, I've waited a while to go back to certain thrift stores that I normally frequent and found really quickly that things revert back to previous selling methods there, or new managers come in and things revert, et cetera, et cetera. I've had this experience a bunch. One way or another, if one is dedicated to thrifting and reselling, a longer stretch of not having ample buying opportunities at the thrift is okay. I mean, luckily, and some of this is just luck too. I mean, luckily since I've moved here, there's been a Ben's open up really close to here while I've lived here, which was unthinkable because prior to that, it was 3-hour trips. So that wasn't a way I could fulfill my needs. But also, you know, I had to be looking for that kind of thing. I had to be looking for those kinds of shopping opportunities to open up. And earlier on, when I moved to my hometown, sort of in between that 100 Goodwill time in my life to now 2, the in-between bridge there was a store that had a few Goodwill and a few thrift stores, but more importantly had these Amazon returns stores opening up. And I incorporated that into my living for a long time. So what does all this mean to you? I really think at the end of the day that there's probably somebody watching who has in some way or another started to rely on resale income or quit their job to do it. There's a whole spectrum of people that get into this kind of lifestyle. And what I fear for those people, I fear that there's people watching that might be in this place where it does seem like it's time to give up. And hey, that's going to come for some of us. It's certainly come to me at periods of my life. And if you have to do so to handle other responsibilities, you do that. Don't let me talk you out of that by any means. But if you're in a place where the sticking point is that it is hard to find stuff, look around. Find the next thing, find the new item to get into, try yard sales, try the thing you haven't tried, and just do it different. Like something that's really working for me right now is with my antique malls. I don't have that extreme access to the toys that I used to have, so I am putting decor sort of home goods in my antique malls and making a little bit more money that way than I ever have. I've done little dishes in the past, but never like mirrors, and I don't know. I've been buying lamps. If I see a lamp of some sort that really interests me, I've bought that. I've put that in the antique malls, and that's me. That's an example of me adapting with the changes. And I don't know that I have such a clear way to show you a way in which Goodwill will revert back to something it's doing. But if you've watched enough of my videos, you've seen this. I've shopped at enough locales now where that proof does exist somewhere on my channel. So if you're collecting things and you feel like your sources have dried up, if you're reselling things, you feel like your sources are drying up, that is a huge part of what we do. And it shouldn't be the end. There should be a way around it. Just look a little longer, look a little harder. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm not so much at a dead end. I still have bins, but I going to the thrift a few days in a row, which is sort of more so the content than it is my reselling, because I have other stuff. It struck me funny that way today that I'm editing this video. I'm like, man, my thrift's been letting me down, but it's okay. The thrift doth provide in the end, maybe just not this week. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hit the subscribe button, turn the notification on. Check the links below this video for ways you may or may not be able to participate further in this channel. But we do post daily videos on this channel, so hopefully I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. And until then, peace out.